right, guys, the sign says no snake rides here at Phanom Rung Temple Complex. Absolutely no snake rides. Good morning. We're here in Buriram, Thailand, northeastern province of Buriram, located about a 4 to 6 hour drive away from Bangkok. Today we're at Phanom Rung. It's an ancient temple complex built between the 10th and 13th centuries. What's significant about this temple complex is not only when it was built, but where it was built. So we're actually standing on top of an ancient extinct volcano. So we're about 400 meters above like the plains and the flatland around this area. And on top of this mountain, this old volcano, they built this beautiful temple complex. So inside this temple complex, there's 15 different doorways. 4 times a year, there's a perfect alignment of the rising and setting of the sun, where the sun rises and sets and aligns perfectly with all 15 doorways in this temple complex at the same time. So it was very, very strategically placed. And obviously this temple was built to worship the sun and the god Shiva. So this is an Angkar era temple, and it was built by the Khmers, the same time period and the same type of people that built Angkor Wat. We visited Angkor Wat last year. This looks very familiar, and as you can see here as we look through this doorway, there's a perfect alignment on the other side, so you can see a pathway through here. And I guess 4 times a year the sun rises and it'll set where the sun is perfectly aligned between all 15 passages of these doorways. So that's a significant placement of this temple. And the fact that it's still even standing is pretty amazing, right? I mean, this has been 1,000 years of wars and bad weather and storms. And so I guess the sun would rise. I think that's west, so that's the sun would set there and it would rise over on this side. It's a much smaller temple complex than Angkor, and however, you can see some of the same building techniques that they use to carry some of the big stones. Like there's holes in these stones. Now I don't know if these holes were put in here to put like a veneer finish on here. I noticed in Cambodia they used to drill holes so they could put like an exterior finish on it. But either that or those holes were used to lift those stones. But it's a much smaller complex, but it's very clean, very nice, very well maintained. And this is in Buriram. There's not a whole lot of people here. And Buriram's just kind of gotten popular in the last 10 years with all the different sports complexes they built there. They built a soccer stadium, Chang Soccer Stadium. They've built a racetrack for Formula One. And Buriram's growing pretty fast. So it's definitely got some things to see while you're out here. It's hard to believe this thing was built between 10th and 13th centuries. And it's pretty pristine. It's like still pretty nice. Even the statues have the heads intact. I'm not sure if this is an original statue, but
they rebuilt it.
But this is one of the statues standing guard here in front of one of the entrances to the temple. But like I said, the significance about this temple is the fact that it has 15 doorways inside the long part of the temple. And all those doorways align perfectly with the rising and setting of the sun 4 times a year. Yeah, they've done a really good job of restoring everything.
But they try to keep all of the...
Looking original, but... Oh, and this is a bowl in here? Okay. We got ourselves a cow. I think I seen this guy down the road. You heard it, guys. The sign says no snake rides here at Phanom Rung. Absolutely no snake rides. All right, here's part of this door passageway. As you can see, we got one doorway, the next doorway, 2, 3, and 4. And these are the passageways where the sun would align. So the sun would rise on this side, and then it would set on that side. More Nagas. There's some pathways and some walkways leading to some other areas, but I think it's just this one temple complex here. This is a pretty nice piece of work, all the way out here in Buriram, Thailand. Who would have thought? You want to see temples? Angkor era temples? Come to Buriram. They're here, folks. They're here. Back on this pathway. Apparently only the king and the queen, or the royal family, was the only ones that were allowed to walk up this pathway into here. And if you look at that center doorway, that's where you would observe the sunset 4 times a year that would go down there. So here's the Naga bridge. All right, this is the Naga bridge. So these serpents represent protection, and this pathway was symbolic for symbolizing the journey between the human life and the afterlife and the journey to the divine. So from here to there, and possibly the divine was this way. As you can see, there's these statues of the legendary serpent Naga on 4 sides. And then there's this big staircase going up to the temple complex. There's one of the Nagas, another one here. I have to say that this place is very well maintained. The Thai government obviously spends a considerable amount of time and money making sure that these complexes are in pristine condition. There's no garbage, everything's picked up. It's a little different than some of the other ones I've seen. And these stairs are steep. Might be hard to see from camera angle, but yeah, they're really steep. They're not all the same size either, so can't really run down them too fast. This staircase leads up to the temple complex, and at the top of it, when you stand at the top of the stairs, you can see right through those 15 doorways through the main temple, and you'll be able to see the sunset on the other side in perfect alignment 4 times a year. And that's Phanom Rung here in Buriram province. Who would have thought? What a great place. Not bad. Good surprise for Buriram. I thought it was just soccer stadiums and racetracks. Turns out there's a really nice heritage site here too. It's starting to get a little bit busier as we get later into the day, but you know, this morning we pretty much had this place all to ourselves. Pretty cool.